EVMxIdeathon. This is the big event coming up. I hope everyone is getting excited. It's going to go live on September 19th, so that is when the event will kick off. So we've got that settled, so put it on your calendar. It's got 2 tracks. So it's got the Ideathon track, which is essentially an idea. So it makes it really easy. This is a super low barrier to entry, 0 code requirement to actually participate in a hackathon. So I know there's a ton of folks on this call who have probably wanted to do hackathons. And first of all, you need to show up at a physical location. That's resolved. This is virtual. And you may not think of yourself as a developer and think that you need to be a developer in order to participate in a hackathon. Here's your chance. You do not need to be one. You just need to have a brain, which I think everyone here probably has one. If you're an EOS fan, you surely do. So that's the one track. The other one's going to be a more traditional hackathon centered around the Trust EVM. So there'll be 2 tracks, 125. It's a $75K for the Ideathon and $50K for the Trust EVM hackathon. And additionally, all the winners will also receive access to a customized Helios incubator program, which I think anybody who's heard about the program, there's been great success and reviews from people who participated in terms of building out their project, their pitch, what their go-to-market strategy, how they're going to acquire customers, just some of the questions that a lot of projects maybe don't quite do the diligence that are required to really build a profitable, long-term, sustainable business. So we're going to provide that to all the winners. Some of the other details. So in general, it's an 8-week event. So when it opens on September 19th, registrations will open and we'll do an opening ceremony describing the event, getting everybody familiar with how it's going to work, where you go to sign up. If you want to have a team and you haven't been able to find one, there's a way to do that. So that'll happen. And then throughout the 6 weeks of the event itself, where you have 6 weeks to work on your project, your proposal for both tracks, and that they'll be due on October 31st. But during those 6 weeks, we'll be having a series of basically seminars. So the seminars, there'll be 5 of them in total, and they're more specifically focused on the Ideathon track. So again, because there's 2 separate events combined into one, the hackathon for the Trust EVM is very much focused on GameFi. So when you're looking to contribute and submit a proposal to that side, you'll need to focus on GameFi. And GameFi can mean many things to many people, but in the end, it's basically play-to-earn application where the users, let's see, what's my definition here? Play-to-earn blockchain games that provide mechanics to yield economic incentive for players to play and interact with the game. That's what's going to be for the Trust EVM side. And then, of course, the Ideathon, we haven't quite settled in on the categories for the Ideathon, but stay tuned for next week. We'll drop some alpha if you want a bit of a head start to get your brain churning on what ideas you could focus on. Next week's Fireside Chat, we will announce the 4 or 5 categories with descriptions. So a little extra alpha for our community that others won't get. And then, like I said, we'll have throughout the event itself, there'll be 5 different seminars, and these will be a live, sort of like a Zoom link, or I think we'll end up doing on YouTube, would be live interacting with the comments. We'll do a design thinking workshop, which is something, step 1, if you're thinking about an idea, what are the do's and don'ts of coming up with an idea that could be turned into an actual project? So that'll be step 1. Then we'll do an EOS/Antelope technical overview. That will be, because even though your idea doesn't need to have any code, one of the judging criteria is feasibility. Can you actually build this thing? Can it be built on EOS or Antelope? And so that would be something you will need to factor into your idea. So even though there's no code required, you do need to have some sort of semblance of feasibility that can actually be built. And we'll do a tokenomics gamification workshop so folks can get more acquainted with the ideas of if you are going to include a token and taking advantage of that aspect of a blockchain, tokens, then that'll give you a high level view of that to consider in your idea. Then finally, we'll do a pitch deck workshop, which is the whole Ideathon is going to culminate in a live Shark's Tank style event where folks will present live to hopefully a ton of us watching to the judging and basically be judged live, ask some questions, and have the winners decided in real time in this live event, which will be delivering a pitch like you would to a VC. So you want to create that pitch. So we'll do a session on a pitch deck workshop. And then there'll also be an additional session on community development and marketing. And so as you want to consider how you're going to acquire customers and who is your target customer and how you're going to build out this idea, if it was to get built, this will help you there. So that's quite a bit. And I don't want to give away too much of the details. So in terms of the categories and the judging and pieces that you really want to consider to how you're going to win this, that will come later. So stay tuned to these fireside chats because this is where we're dropping the alpha.